नमो नमः।
नमो नमः।
अद्य आरभ्य अस्माभिः व्याकरणस्य एकः नूतनः ग्रन्थः आरप्स्यते। ग्रन्थस्य नाम तथा फर्स्ट बुक ऑफ संस्कृत इति वर्तते। अस्य लेखकः तस्य किञ्चित् परिचयं दातुम् इच्छामि। अस्य परिचयः नाम अयं महोदयः वस्तुतः अस्य जन्म रत्नागिरिभूमौ नाम सिन्धुदुर्गमध्ये कोकणप्रान्ते जातः। अस्य नाम वर्तते रामकृष्ण गोपाल भाण्डारकर। भाण्डारकर इन्स्टिट्यूशन् अस्यैव नाम्ना अधुना संस्थापितं वर्तते, तत्र पुण्यपतने पुण्यनगरमध्ये। भाण्डारकर महोदयः, रामकृष्ण भाण्डारकर महोदयः, अस्य जन्म 1837 मध्ये जातः। 6 जुलै 1837 मध्ये। अयं महोदयः संस्कृतस्य महान् चिकित्सकः तथा संस्कृतज्ञः आसीत्। वृत्त्या सः प्रोफेसर तथा सोशियल रिफॉर्मर इति आसीत्। अस्य ग्रन्थस्य उपोद्घाते अयं लिखति यत् व्याकरणं पठितुं सन्ति अन्येपि ग्रन्थाः, यथा लघुसिद्धान्तकौमुदी स्यात्, सिद्धान्तकौमुदी स्यात्, तत्र पाणिनी अष्टादशी इत्यादिकं सर्वं स्यात्। पुनश्च बहवः ग्रन्थाः तत्र सन्ति एव। किमर्थम् अस्य पुस्तकस्य आवश्यकता इति कृत्वा सः एव उपोद्घाते, अस्य पुस्तकस्य उपोद्घातं यदा पश्यन्ति तदा ज्ञास्यते अस्य पुस्तकस्य किम् आवश्यकता आसीत्। सः अत्र वदति, अत्र भवन्तः एतत् पठितुं पारयिष्यन्ति। सरलं वर्तते, सरला भाषा अस्ति। उच्यते अत्र संशये एवम् एतदेव अभिप्रेत्य व्याकरणप्रयोजनेषु लघ्वसन्देहौ इति प्रयोजनद्वयं कात्यायनः परिसञ्चख्यौ। तैः प्रयोजनद्वयमेव पूर्वं कात्यायनैः तत्र उक्तमस्ति। भाष्यकृत् च इन्द्रबृहस्पत्याख्यं आख्यायिकाम् उदजहार। नाम तत्र व्याकरण संबंधी यानि यानि प्रयोजनानि तानि प्रयोजनानि साधयितुं कात्यायन प्रभृतैः सर्वैः व्याकरणग्रन्थाः रचिताः। ननु तर्हि सहैव काव्येन लघुकौमुदी तत्सदृशो अन्यो वा ग्रन्थम् अथवा अन्य व्याकरण ग्रन्थोऽपि अधीयतां किं पुनः अनया पाठावल्या इति चेत्न। नाम अत्र तैः एव प्रश्नः उत्थापितः यत् तत्र लघुकौमुदी इत्यादि ग्रन्थाः सन्ति एव व्याकरणस्य, तर्हि एतस्य लघुग्रन्थस्य अत्र का आवश्यकता इति प्रश्नः। तत्र उत्तरं सः एव लिखति, तादृशानां ग्रन्थानां बालकैः प्रौढवयस्कैः अपि पुरुषैः संस्कृतम् अजानद्भिः तेषाम् अध्ययने महान् कालक्षेपो भवति, गरीयाञ्च परिश्रमः अपेक्षते। नाम किम् उच्यते, लघुकौमुदी इत्यादि ग्रन्थानां कृते ये संस्कृतं न जानन्ति तैः साधकैः बालकैः वा महान् कालक्षेपो भवति तान् ग्रन्थान् अध्येतुम्। They have to spend a lot of time and gariyancha parishramaha apekshate. They required a lot of efforts to learn Sanskrit language. किन्तु न तथा ईदृशस्य ग्रन्थस्य। एतत् पुस्तकं वस्तुतः तत्र 32 एव तत्र पाठाः सन्ति। इति कृत्वा 32 नाम वस्तुतः 30 डेज मध्ये कोऽपि यदि सम्यक् प्रयत्नं विदधाति तस्य कृते अस्य ग्रन्थस्य सम्यक् ज्ञानम् उद्भवितुम् अर्हति। सः सम्यक् संस्कृतं ज्ञातुं वक्तुं च पारयिष्यति इति अस्य ग्रन्थस्य महिमा। तस्य सरल अन्वयी वाक्यवत्वात् तद्गत व्याकरण सिद्धान्तानाम् अपि वैशद्येन अभिहितत्वात्। तस्मात् अस्य ग्रन्थस्य कृते अधिकः प्रयत्नः वा अधिकः कालक्षेपः वा न अपेक्षते। उच्यते तत्र सरल अन्वय पद्धति तत्र सरल अन्वयी वाक्यानां तत्र स्थापना कृता वर्तते। पुनश्च मध्ये मध्ये व्याकरण सिद्धान्तानामपि वैशद्येन अभिहितम् अथवा प्रतिपादनं कृतं वर्तते इति कृत्वा अस्य ग्रन्थस्य यदि कश्चन पुरुषः कश्चन व्यक्तिः यदि अध्ययनं करोति तर्हि मासमध्ये एव सः संस्कृतं ज्ञातुं पारयति इति अस्य ग्रन्थस्य वैशिष्ट्यं ग्रन्थकर्तृणा उच्यते। अस्तु, एतावत् परिचयः ग्रन्थकर्तुः तथा ग्रन्थस्य भवेत्। ततः किं किं वयं पठिष्यामः तस्य कृते अत्र टेबल वर्तते। फर्स्ट अल्फाबेट्स, so we are not going to look at alphabets because alphabets are already known to you. Then the first lecture will start with singular terminations. Example, gacchami, gacchasi, gacchati. These are singular terminations. Saha, tvam, aham. These are singular terminations. Then in second lecture, they will introduce plural. Then you will see the gacchanti, gachatha, and gachama. So this is how they will put in along with kriya padas, and you have to make sentences after each lesson. In third dual, then they will introduce on the present tense general results and the examination. So collectively they will introduce the singular, dual, plural in one lecture. Then there are some prepositions, nouns ending with a and e. So this is how the lesson will continue. In fifth, they will introduce nominative in the sense prathama vibhakti. In sixth lecture, they will introduce Zvitiya, accusative case. In third, they will introduce instrumental namakarana karakam in the sense Tritiya vibhakti. In the fifth lecture, dative and the ablative cases. In ninth one, genitative, locative, and the vocative. The 6, 7, 8 cases they will introduce. Then again general rule and examination they will take in between. Thereafter they will introduce the adverb, verbs. Then Atmanipada will be 10th lecture. Then again Atmanipada singular forms like a vande, vandase, vandate. This is how singular they will introduce. In 11th one, they will introduce dual and plural also. Vande, vandate, vandate, vandete, vandante, vandate, vandase, vandete, vandadve, vande, vandavahe, vandamahe. This is how up to 11th, the Atmanipada Vartaman Kala will be perfect. Then thereafter, they will even introduce the structure of passive and the impersonal forms. Karmani Prayoga and Bhave Prayoga. This is the one combo. Then again, the new words in the same, the feminine nouns will start. Then particularly in the 12th one, they will introduce Akaranta and Ikaranta nouns, where again they will introduce nominative case and the accusative case, Prathama and Dvitiya again, because they are introducing new nouns which are ending with A and E, like Lata and Nadi. Then again of those nouns, they will introduce instrumental, dative, ablative, genitive, locative, vocative cases in 14th and 15th. So basically, Rama, Rame, Ramaha, Ramam, Rame, Ramaha. In 3 lectures, you have to memorize Rama Shabda and Nadi Shabda. up to 15th. So you will be memorizing Rama Shabda, Rama Shabda and Nadi Shabda. That was done up to 15th. Now rest of the 15 parts, what they will do? Again, they are going to introduce imperfect and the first, in the sense, Vidili Lakar, Lot Lakar they will introduce. Lot Lakar, imperfect tense. So Parasmay Pada again, like other Bhavatu, Bhavatam, Bhavantu, etc. etc. Parasmay Pada they will introduce singular dual form, then again plural. Then Atmanepada also Lot Lakar they will like Vandatam, Vandetam, Vandantam, etc. Up to 18th one, they will complete the Lot Lakar. Then again in 19th one, the first four cases of noun ending with Ukara and Rukara. So basically Guru Shabda, Pitru Shabda they will introduce, and four cases in the sense in 19th and 20th they will introduce the Ukaranta Shabda and Rukaranta Shabda like a Guru and Pitru. Okay. Then thereafter in 21st the feminine nouns but which are ending with Rasva Ikara, Rasva Ukara, Rasva Rukara and Dirgha Ukara. So in 21st, all of those are covered. Ikaranta like a Mati Shabda, Rasva Ikaranta, Vadhu Shabda, Dirgha Ukaranta, Rikaranta Matru Shabda. This is how they will introduce. Then in 22nd, again the imperfect mood in the sense within Lakara, they will introduce Parasmay Pada, Atmane Pada, and some of the more important verbal derivatives they will introduce. Then again in 25th, we are going to see the words which are ending with Vyanjana. For example, Chakaranta Shabda, Dakaranta Shabda, Takaranta Shabda, Vat Pratyanta, Matu Pratyanta words. Vach Shabda is there. Vach. Vak Vacha Vacha. Dakaranta Bhavat. Dakaranta Shabdas are there. Marut, etc. Takaranta, there are Jagat Shabda. Vatu Pratyanta, Bhagavat, Matu Shabda, Matu Pratyanta, etc. We are going to see in 25th. Then in 26, Annanta Nama and Innanta Nama. Rajan is the Annanta, Yogin is Innanta. So this is how all kind of declension we are going to see. Basically, you are going to memorize the Annanta forms, Innanta forms, Rajan Shabda, Yogin Shabda, etc. In 26th, 27th, Sakaranta Shabda, Vas Pratyanta Shabda, Es Pratyanta, Es Pratyanta Shabda we will see. Then potential mood we will see. Demonstrative, relative, and the interrogative examination we will do. Then others, idam, those two words importantly we will see. And then he will cover up in 21st and 31st and 32nd lecture, he will just collect few Subhashita and the stories from Panchatantra, etc. And he will make us understand to do Anvaya, etc. throughout the book. So this is the structure. Now let's enter into first lecture. It's very simple. So I'm not going to introduce the alphabets because those are already known to you, isn't it? So I don't think we should go through it. I have sent the PDF into the group. If you want to go personally into this, learn these things, you can go through it. Now let's see the first book of Sanskrit lesson, first verbs, Parasmay Pada. Now what is Parasmay Pada? If there is a new Sanskrit, new student who wants to study Sanskrit, and if he doesn't know the termination, he will introduce this termination by different signs. For example, he has put a star here. So now you have to go through here this Suchana, the notes. and you will get the clarity what is Parasmapada, what is Atmanipada. So he introduces there are two sets of conjugational termination in Sanskrit, Parasmapada and Atmanipada. Some roots take execute exclusively the former and some of the later, while there are other which take either. In the sense, there would be ni, vasmas, sithastha, and titas, anti. These terminations, this conjugational termination belongs to Parasmapada. And regarding Atmanipada, there would be some another avahe, amahe, etc. There are some terminations. So basically, all the roots in Sanskrit either will come under Parasmapada or Atmanipada, and some of, like for example, 10th Gana conjugational roots, the 10th Ganiya roots will belong to Ubhaya Pada. Some of them not like some of only belong to Parasmapada, and some of them will only belong to Atmanipada. No, not like that. They will be even Parasmapada and Atmanipada, their declension will be in both, like Ganayati, Ganayatah, Ganayanti, Parasmapada, Ganayate, Ganayate, Ganayante, even Atmanipada. So this is how some roots they will belong to both. Okay. Now, then they are introducing only singular termination in first lesson. So basically, the style goes little. Here, what we had learned before, we will start with third person, then second person, then first person. But here, the style is little different. We will introduce gacchami, first, then gacchasi, second, and then gacchati, third. So basically, if you decline the words, you will be declining gacchami, gacchavaha, gacchamaha, gacchasi, gachatah, gacchata, gacchati, gachatah, gacchanti. Not like a gacchati, gachatah, gacchanti, gacchasi, gachatah, gacchata, gacchami, gacchavaha, gacchama. So order little bit changes here. Okay. So now first singular termination they have introduced ni, si, and ti. Ni, si, ti. So these are singular termination of roots. Root of the first conjugation. Now basically they are introducing the first conjugation, nama Bhwadi Gana, Prathama Gana, first Gana. And these dhatu, these roots are belonging to Parasmapada and first conjugation. So basically the idea is they will introduce main root. Along with that, if there is some form of that root which takes lot of rules to get the ultimate form, they will directly point out to this counsel, क्या बोलते हैं इसको, this kind of bracket, but different kind, not like this. Okay. So now let's go through this rule. The substitutes and other changes which some roots undergo before the conjugational sign, such as that mentioned in rule 5, are shown within rectangular bracket. So basically this is rectangular bracket. So if there are so many rules are used to get that form, they will not introduce those rules. They will just put that ultimate form in the rectangular bracket. For example, gum changes into gacha. How it changes, they will not introduce in this case in rectangular bracket. But ni changes into nayati. It is given in simple bracket. So what is the rule? The rule also will be introduced in the notes. So the final vowel and the penultimate short of the root take their guna, substitute before a of the first conjugation. So very simple. Before adding a vikarana, if the root ends with e or dirgha e, the ikara changes into ekar. Ukara changes into O, Rikara changes into Ar, and Dri changes into Al, like a Gunadesh we used to do, isn't it? So if there is a Ni main root and the A comes in front of Ni plus A, Ni will change into A. A plus A, it has happened now. First, Ni will change into Ne. Now, Ne plus A is there. Again, there would be Ayadi Adesh and it will get ultimate form Nayati. So, this is how the rules will go. But if you add Akara, it will become Patati. Buddha will become Bodhati. Again, the Bu will change into Okar and it will become Bodhati. Bhu becomes Bhavati. How Bhu is ending with Ukara. If Vikarana you put in front of Bhu, Bhu will change into, Bhu will get a Guna. It will become Bhu plus A. Now again there will be Ayadi Adesha and it will Bhu will O will change into Ava. It will become Bhavati. So ब्रैकेट में जो सिंपल ब्रैकेट में दिए हैं, if that root is ending with either Raswai, Dirghai, it will change into A. If it is ending with U, short or long, it will change into O. Then another Sandhi also will happen. Ayadi Adesh will happen. Another. Raksha Rakshati. While going through this lecture, what you have to do? You have to memorize Gamagachati, Nayati, Patapatati to fall, Buddha-Bodhati to know, to understand, Buddhavati to become, Raksha Rakshati to protect, Vadavadati to speak, Vasavasati to dwell, Sri Sarati to do. This is how you have to do Parayanam and you have to understand name or root along with ultimate form and with meaning. Then it will help you to even make Karmani Prayogas. So many of these Kriya Padas are familiar, so it won't take much time to understand first lesson. Now, let's go through second page. The root of the second conjugation us to be other to it. So they will introduce now some of the roots. Astistah, santi, asistah, stha, asmi, swasmah. This is very important, as dhatu, because it will be used frequently as dhatu, asti, etc. So we should know the all forms of as dhatu and used to it. Sometimes other dhatu is used in this book to introduce, Bhakshayati, Khadati, this kind of roots we know. But the second conjugation has another root like ad, and it goes like atli, attaha, adanti, like that it goes. So they are introducing. Now the rule is A is added on the root of the first conjugation before the termination. Basically, A is a vikarana in our language. A is a vikarana. So the vikarana will be added to the main root. For example, tat is the main root. Along with that, you need to add A. Okay? Then you get the form patati, patataha, patanti, etc. But in second conjugation, the terminations are applied directly in the sense the me, si, ti, these are singular pratyas. Na? You don't need to add any vikarana in between the verb root and the ultimate terminations. So basically if dhatu is there, as, root is there, as, you directly add asti, t will be added. Asi, asmi, directly mi, si, ti will be added. But regarding asi, there is not double sakar. As, si, it is not like asi, it is asi. How it happens? They will introduce some rules regarding that also. Before the termination of the first person beginning with ma and va, is preceding a is lengthened. So on this rule, basically the pratyaya has given me and vikarana will be a. So if it is pat plus a, plus me, it should be patami, not patami, right? So they are introducing before the termination of the first person in the sense me, was, must, this pratyayas. A person beginning with ma or va, the preceding a letter lengthen. So basically, if the termination in the sense the pratyayas, if they are starting with me in the sense ma or va, for example, me, was, must, in there, the me is starting with ma, was is starting with va, and must is starting with again ma. So what will happen? Before that vikarana we used to add that a will change into a. So that is how gachami, gachavah, and gachamah. This is how we are going to get everywhere. This rule is applied in all 10th that forms in the sense gana. So now they are introducing vadami. You have to, whenever you get time, what you have to do now? You have to put the subject along with this. Now, how you will add the subject? What you have to do? Let me introduce that too. Are you able to see this screen? Now, gachavah, gachamah. Similarly, gachati, gachatah, and gachatha. Similarly, here it will be gachati, gachatah.
Gachatah,
Mm.
gachanti.
The rule is whenever you want to use the ultimate form gachami, along with that, you have to use aham.
Hmm.
Okay, the rule is if the subject belongs to first purusha, so this will be known as prathama purusha. This will be dvitiya or madhyama. Let's say madhyama purusha because we are familiar with this term. Madhyama purusha. This will be uttama.
Uttama Purusha.
Just say tritiya purusha because in this pustakam they will introduce the prathama, dvitiya, and tritiya. This is how they use. Okay. So aham, avam, vayam. These three forms belong to prathama purusha. Tvam, yuvam, yuyam belong to dvitiya, and the saha, taute belong to tritiya. Similarly, gacchami, gacchavaha, gacchama belongs to prathama. Gacchasi, gachatah, gachatha belongs to dvitiya, and gacchati, gachatah, gacchanti belong to tritiya purusha. And again, aham is singular, avam is dual, and vayam is plural. Similarly, gacchami is singular, gacchavaha is dual, and gacchamaha is plural. So basically, whenever you want to use the forms, any form of this gacchati root, if you are using singular, of Prathama Purusha. Along with that, you have to use some subject. So which subject you should use? A subject which belongs to Prathama Purusha and which is in singular. Say, you cannot say Gacchami, along with Gacchami, you cannot say Saha Gacchami. Why? Because Saha belongs to Tritiya Purusha,
Tritiya.
belongs to Prathama Purusha. That would be wrong. Then what about Vayam Gacchami? It is also not correct. Why? Because Gacchami is singular. Even though Vayam also belongs to Prathama Purusha, Gacchami also belongs to Prathama Purusha, but we cannot say Vayam Gacchami. Why? Because Gacchami is singular and Vayam is plural. So this is the rule. Okay. Now go through the lesson and understand the again this part. So what you have to do, you have to do the homework now. What homework you are going to do in for next class? Vadami they have given. Along with Vadami, you have to put the subject. For example, Aham Vadami.
Aham vadami.
Rakshasi, you will write one Rakshasi. And along with that, you will write the meaning also in English. So both you will practice Sanskrit along with English.
Okay.
This is the homework. Okay. Now there is one more rule they are introducing atti here. Why? How it becomes atti? So basically here you have to go before hard consonant. The preceding consonant except nasal substitute the first letter of their class. For example, kakub, prantah, kapub. So basically what rule? Chartya sandhi. Just go through chartya sandhi, you will get it. So the soft consonant changes into hard consonant if it is followed by hard consonant. That is simple rule. They have put in the some different way. So if you know Chartwa Sandhi, you will get it. Okay. So again, they are introducing some more Kriya Pada which belongs to first conjugation, Bhwadi. Chara will become charati, to go, to walk, jiva jivati, to live, teja tejati, to abandon, daha dahati, to burn, nama namati, to go, to salute, pacha pachati, to cook. Now here they are introducing some sentences which are in English, but you have to translate into Sanskrit. So thou speakest, this is the old language. This book was written around 18th century. So basically they are using like a little bit the Shakespeare's language, isn't it? Thou speakest in the sense you speak. Thou means you. Speakest means you speak, basically. So you speak, you have to write tvam vadasi. He speaks saha vadati. This is how you have to practice it. Okay. And the last rule here we need to understand thou art in the sense you are. How you will write tvam asi. But us is the main root and it is followed by si pratyay. It should be asi. How it becomes asi? They are introducing us loses its final before si. So basically, sakara will be dropped when it is followed by si pratyay and it will become asi. Okay. So up to this lesson, you can practice. First lesson we are done with. Then in next class, we will go through second and third also, because today it took a little time to introduce the book and also the author. So we could only finish one first lesson. In tomorrow, in next class, we will also finish the second lesson, and even third, I think we will be able to, because there is no much difficulty. Okay. So anything regarding this book or any questions? Right? Okay. Then this rule was not introduced as the second conjugation is very difficult. Only two rules are given in this book. It is fully treated of in the second book. So basically, here they have put the star where here. So basically, us and other, these two roots belong to second conjugation. Adadigana it is known. Okay, Adadigana. Second conjugation is known as Adadigana. And from that Gana, they are only introducing two roots, us and other, in this book. And the rest of the roots will be introduced in another part of this book. In the sense, there are two parts of this book. First book of Sanskrit and the second book of Sanskrit. So we are only going to learn the first book of Sanskrit here. Okay. Anything else we left? This one we wanted to understand again. So this rule we learned, though if dhatu is ending with e or u or ru and ru, they will change into a, o, ar, al. For example, they are going through the example, they are introducing me becomes ne, to which a is to be joined. So a is vikarana, before adding a, me will change into me. And then the termination ti will be added. In Sanskrit, two vowel cannot come together without sandhi. And the rule to be observed in the present case is that the preceding a, o, a, I, and au becomes I, of, respectively. So I alias is basically. And then the following vowel is added to on them. Okay. So basically, ni was there, avikarana comes and ni will change into ne. And now the sthiti is ne plus a. And again there would be ayadi adesha. A will change into I. It will become naya plus a. And it will become naya. Then you can add nayati, nayasi, nayami, etc. Similarly, bhu is the main root. It is followed by avikarana. And now whenever there is a akara, bhu will change into u will change into o, and it will become bhu plus a. Now again, ayadi adesha will take place. O will change into o, and it will appear bhav plus a. It will become bhava. Then we can add the pratyas bhavati, bhavatah, bhavanti, bhavasi, bhavatah, bhavata, bhavami, bhavavah, bhavamah. The forms which root assume in the consequence of the such vowel changes and are enclosed within circular brackets. So basically, the circular bracket, the counts is given. So whenever there is this kind of rule applied, they will introduce this bracket. Ni will change into naya, buddha will change into bodha, into bhava, sru will change into sar. So these rules are applied here. I think this much it will be sufficient for today. We have covered all the rules as well as whatever was needed. We'll see. Next class we'll do Purnamada. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate